Under California's new revenge porn law, those convicted of distributing sexual or nude images of their exes without permission face jail time and a $1,000 fine. But some say the law doesn't go far enough. Here to help shed some light on the issues are Sergeant Mark Varno with the County Sheriff's Department and family therapist David Peters. Welcome. Sergeant Varno, 27-year-old Kevin Bollert was charged with felony extortion, conspiracy, identity theft for his alleged involvement in posting nude pictures and personal data on revenge porn websites, among some other things. Why wasn't he charged under the new revenge porn law?
Well, at the time he committed those offenses, the law wasn't in effect. So we can't go back in time and charge him with the new, under the current statute.
And these other charges, are they more serious?
They are serious, certainly felony offenses involving identity theft and people's private information.
Well, a recent survey by the Cyber Civil Rights Initiative found 80% of revenge porn victims took pictures of themselves, these selfie pictures. The law does not apply to that. If you took the picture yourself and posted it, let's say, during sexting, critics say that this is a loophole. And I want to start with you, Sergeant Varno. Do you think it is a loophole, and how hard is it to prosecute somebody under this new law?
The cases are difficult. Under the new statute, again, it requires us to prove the intent of the person that posted those images. And that has to be demonstrated by the suspect themselves or through some other means, communications, emails, or something else. So we have to show ill will is intended by the suspect in these cases. And because it's such a prevalent problem in society, so many images are out there, it's very difficult to have the resources and the laws to keep up with these changes and actually go after these cases for prosecution.
I see. And David, revenge porn sites, some of them also post personal information, addresses, names of bosses, things like that. How would the victim be impacted by this violation of their privacy?
Well, Peggy, this has the potential to be devastating to someone's life for many years to come. It's said that one of the surest ways to damage the human mind without touching it is repeated public humiliation. And it really is the case. Especially if you're releasing personal information along with a photo. This can, for high school students, develop into being teased and provoked and humiliated by others. And in other sense, it's a sexual offense. It's a sexual degradation that becomes a public group sexual degradation. This can have lasting consequences of depression, anxiety, physiological symptoms, and eventually we're going to see people, young people, committing suicide from the humiliation they experience and their inability to handle this.
Well, of course, you know, we know this, but it's hard to tell a 13-year-old or a kid that everything that's posted online lives there forever. It may get buried eventually, but it's online, and if you dig deep enough, you can find it. With this evolving technology and social media, do we need to redefine our, I guess, expectation of privacy?
Well, privacy right now is not guaranteeable in any way or form. Through the internet, people know where we're shopping, what we're shopping for, our political affiliations. Our medical records aren't even completely safe in the digital world. So what we need is programs in the schools to educate students while they're young on digital safety, how to protect themselves. And we need a program now, just like the anti-bullying program, where we can set a new standard for what's socially acceptable. It would be good if we could humiliate those who are humiliating others, you know, bring them into the public sphere and side with those who are potential victims.
And Sergeant Varno, how big of a problem do you think revenge porn is? Is it a growing problem?
It is growing, and I mean, it starts with teenagers, and we see a lot of that again in the sexting cases, and there seems to be no end in sight. Again, we have a new statute, and we'll certainly be looking at cases coming in under that statute for prosecution and looking at the issues of trying to get those things going forward. But the technology is what drives these things forward, the ability of someone to do these things online.
Your best advice for somebody to protect against revenge porn?
Oh, well, obviously, don't put any images, make your images available to anyone. You need to keep those things private and not share them. Once they're out of your control, they're gone.
And how about you, David, your best advice for protecting against revenge porn?
It's time for all parents to talk with their kids every year about how to protect themselves by not trusting those around them and learning where the boundaries are.
Alrighty. Family therapist David Peters and Sergeant Mark Varno, thank you so much for joining us
Good
today.
to be
Thank
with you,
you.
Peggy.